Can sociopathic acting work? The problem with sociopathic acting, the real American Psycho, right? He's not American, can't use that. So there's this really interesting theory going around right now about Ryan Reynolds, that his whole fast-talking, witty, sarcastic, self-aware persona with his constant one-liners and humor is actually a really strong form of control. And some people online have connected that to sociopathic traits. The idea that sociopaths can imitate emotions and charms without necessarily feeling those emotions.
What the fuck?
Almost like they're performing reactions instead of naturally experiencing them. And
What the fuck?
you would think that that should be good for an actor. The ability to fool people in real life could surely help them with acting. The Ryan Reynolds persona that he actually has is pretty good, to be honest. It's a great way to never let anyone fuck with you because you have this shield that they can't penetrate. Like humor becomes his form of control. He controls the tone of every interaction before anyone else can. Always staying one step ahead, always staying self-aware, so he's never fully vulnerable. He seems like he's always on in some way. His constant sarcasm and humor blur the lines between personality and performance, to the point where it becomes hard to tell where Ryan Reynolds, the person, ends and the persona begins. And the internet sleuths out there have delved deep, so deep that they've started calling it a kind of high-functioning sociopathic trait that he has. A theory that really exploded after all the Justin Baldoni "It Ends With Us" drama. Suddenly there were stories about behind-the-scenes struggles, leaked texts, accusations and aggressive behavior.
Would I work with him again? No. Really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me. So he was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star. But you just, you know, you do just enough exposition that it's funny and then we can leave and get back to the real movie.
So he's riffing.
Off stage, because then they finally were like, cut. And then I got off stage and I walked over and the whole crew was acting weird. And then I went up to Kate and I was like, that was weird, right? And she was like, of course it was fucking weird. It was insane. It was insane. And everybody was looking at each other like, what the fuck is he doing?
But you felt it coming from him.
Everybody did. That's why it was awkward. Everybody was like, why is Ryan doing this? His Twitter bio is showing you the parts of me that tested the best in focus groups. And I'm not sure that he's joking.
And the bus started to move.
So that's the weird thing about public perception. When audiences stop liking a celebrity, the exact same charm that once felt charismatic suddenly starts to feel calculated. And Ryan Reynolds' humor and sarcasm and constant self-awareness that people once loved start feeling rehearsed and performative to some people. Then the internet started digging up older stories from his past, and once that public opinion shifts, people start reinterpreting these stories completely differently. Things that were once seen as funny or weird or quirky suddenly started sounding darker and more unsettling after the controversy. One story people keep bringing up is from an acting class when he was a child, where he apparently gave this emotional apology after getting kicked out, and to apologize and get back into the class, only to admit later to the actual teacher that he completely faked the whole thing and that he was acting and performing this emotional apology. I mean, as a kid, it's genius in some ways, but it gets people questioning about this guy performing his emotions in his real life. Even Reynolds himself accidentally fuels the theory. He jokes in an interview that most rich, successful people are at least mildly sociopathic. Most normal people hear this and they think, yeah, fair enough, Hollywood is a bit insane, but now this is just fueling all the internet theories that people are jumping on. Stories about how he lit his elementary school on fire.
Confirmation that an A-list star who masquerades as a nice guy is in fact a psychopath.
Just like,
Ryan Reynolds is a psychopath, in my opinion. Telling Eugene, and he dismisses him. And Eugene, like, go away. These are my journalists. This is my moment. Shuffle off, old man. Shuffle off. Hey, I'm going to smack that smile on now and shake hands with this journalist who's waiting for me. Okay, we got it. We're good. This is what Ryan's comfortable doing in public, which tells me that he is capable of a lot worse in private.
Do my makeup for these reshoots. You will never work in Hollywood again. He's one of those guys.
Enormous fire. I quote from this article. 200 Queensboro children are off school today. Remember, it's a Monday edition. After a fire onlookers described as, quote, a thundering mass of flames, end quote, destroyed the aging Queen Elizabeth Elementary School early this morning, and that he once burned down a wing of his elementary school. Sorry, Ryan, that Vancouver Sun piece with photographs shows and reports that you destroyed the entire structure. A wing? Get the fuck out of here. I apologize to all the fine students and the faculty, said Reynolds, who admits that he set fire to a tree, which led to a building catching fire. First of all, who sets fire to a tree?
Nobody found out until he just mentioned it in an interview. So, I mean, that's hilarious. Ex-cast members, people who have worked with him, all giving very similar reviews on this guy. Different people, different time periods, different locations, all saying very similar analysis. Now suddenly all the interviews, all the social media posts, all the interactions on the red carpet, all the pieces start to paint a different picture. Now you're thinking about that Hugh Jackman clip and you're wondering, is Ryan actually laughing? Is he actually laughing? Or can he literally stop in a second if he wants to?
I'm just a happy camper. Rocking and a rolling.
Hugh Jackman's laughing so hard he can barely speak. He can't stop the tears coming out. But Ryan is laughing on the outside. But inside.
But inside doesn't matter.
But what I care about is the acting. So, is this a problem for the acting? And what happens when a sociopath becomes an actor? So let's get into this. Ryan Reynolds is one of those actors who is completely unavoidable in Hollywood. He's charismatic, witty, and hilarious, and has built an entire public image around being effortlessly likable. When you sit down to watch a Ryan Reynolds movie, you already know exactly what you're going to get. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing depends entirely on what you want from a movie star. He almost always plays the same type of guy, witty, sarcastic, constantly throwing out one-liners like he's the smartest guy in the room.
I have a question about that, Hedges. Have you ever been laid? Point, you might want to consider sitting down with somebody, you know, have a little share time.
In Waiting, he's the sarcastic restaurant worker making immature jokes and smart comments every 5 seconds.
Yeah, she's a cool chick. I'd do her. Hell, I'd probably even pay. You. Fuck you, Ryan! Oh, fuck!
In Deadpool, he's the sarcastic anti-hero, making jokes every few seconds while talking directly to the audience.
Leave it book in her general direction again, and you will learn in the worst of ways that I have some hard spots too. That came out wrong. Or did it?
In Red Notice, he's a sarcastic art thief, throwing out witty comments in the middle of every situation.
Your escape history. What are you, 6 for 6 now?
Yep, one more, I get a Shawshank jacket.
Keep making your jokes because I'm about to send you to the worst place in the world.
Your Instagram account? It's not that I don't care about you. It's that I don't care about anyone.
In Blade Trinity, he's basically a sarcastic vampire hunter, making one-liners while everyone else is trying to be serious.
What the fuck? Good dog. What the fuck?
You made a goddamn vampire Pomeranian?
Yeah.
In X-Men Origins, you can already see the Deadpool personality. Quick jokes, sarcasm, confidence, the whole Ryan Reynolds formula.
Okay. People are dead.
In the Adam Project, he's a witty time travel. Okay, R.I.P.D., sometimes undead, fast-talking, sarcastic Ryan Reynolds. Okay, you get the idea. This guy understands his screen presence better than most actors. He oozes charisma, and effortlessly, he knows exactly how audiences see him, and he leans into that constantly. The problem is with a lot of huge actors that over time their performances start blending together, and with this there barely feels like a separation anymore between Ryan Reynolds the actor and Ryan Reynolds the brand. Watching one of his movies now feels like listening to the same playlist that you've had on repeat. It's familiar, easy to enjoy and comfortable, but rarely surprising. That's why his range as an actor becomes an interesting conversation, because technically, yes, he has range. He has a very controlled type of range. It's less transformative and more variation.
Manicure.
Victor, easy.
Variation's not the right word. It's not that, it's samey. It's samey. Every once in a while, you see flashes of something more understated. Indefinitely maybe, Ryan Reynolds tones down the usual sarcasm and gives one of the more grounded performances of his career. The movie still relies heavily on his natural charm, but with the help of his daughter actor, there's a sincerity there that works surprisingly well. The same goes for The Proposal, where his chemistry with Sandra Bullock carries a movie that could have easily felt completely disposable in someone else's hands. The film, the script, even Sandra Bullock to an extent, was seriously lacking, and Ryan saves it. He carries the movie.
We forgot everything that happened, and I just left.
You're right. That would be easier.
What the fuck?
In Smoking Aces, one of his earliest movies that was one of my favorites, the audience hasn't yet understood Ryan's persona yet. He's surrounded by absolute chaos, and the cast all trying to outdo each other. The film is nuts, and it's such a good film. And the way he generally performs, not every actor needs to disappear into every role. Not every performance has to feel emotionally exhausting. Some actors succeed because they become larger than life personalities rather than completely different characters. And that's exactly why Deadpool works for him. The character is already built around sarcasm, self-awareness, and constant commentary, which lines up perfectly with Ryan's own real-world persona. Watching him play Deadpool doesn't feel like we're watching someone transform. It feels more like Ryan Reynolds amplified to superhero levels. The part was made for him, everyone knew it, everyone could see it before it was even made. Ryan offers consistency, people know what they're getting. His movies are built around charm, quick dialogue, his self-awareness is exactly what makes him successful. So his exposure has certainly made him hugely famous. He's become a marketing machine, like The Rock. But this does mean that he cannot make a film now without taking into account all the businesses that rely on him. His clever meta personality with the dry, witty, joke-snapping Deadpoolness that he's so damn good at that now it's impossible to see him in any other way. Any dramatic depth that an audience might need to believe him in a part, that's not available anymore. The reality is Ryan's not a dramatic actor. He's an actor, but when you see him in something like Buried or Safe House, you don't see him disappear. The character requires it not to be Ryan, but he is Ryan. He has a cadence when he speaks. So if audiences are happy for him to be himself and give us the Ryan Reynolds treatment in every movie, but this means he is always playing himself. And if he is indeed a sociopath, and I don't know if he is for definite, full disclosure, I don't know, this could be just media gossip. You know how the media is, and how YouTubers are just jumping on the bandwagon. How could you really work it out? Could it even be possible anyway? How would it work? Because, okay, so a sociopath has the ability of doing human emotions, but not necessarily feeling them on the inside, in the eyes. So can a sociopath who's acting in life, a person who's acting, then act again as a character, but you're already a person acting as a person, then you act as another person? What? I mean, how can that work? I mean, what I mean is, so you have a guy who's a sociopath. He's basically acting in order to function in the world and be human. Then you ask that guy who's acting to then act on top of that as another character. So the guy is acting, then as that guy acting, he's acting as someone else. Probably won't work. I mean, because he'd probably just end up acting like him. Oh. Well, if he is, the ability to pretend, to earnestly look people in the eye, cry on command, deliver emotions but not really feel them, this would explain why he's not able to get too deep into the characters that he's playing. He's able to do the classic breaking the fourth wall, to have the intelligence to crack out the one-liners but not fully be laughing at it. It's purely an act that he knows how to do. Sociopathic acting can work, but it probably has a timeline, and maybe he's exhausted that line of time. Deadpool is basically the perfect character for him, but the weird thing is, it might have accidentally trapped him because the character is so successful now that audiences expect that same sarcasm, that self-awareness. And that's maybe where the biggest problem is, where Ryan Reynolds plays exaggerated, sarcastic characters. It fits him perfectly, but when he plays more grounded, normal people, like in Safe House, his real emotional scenes and vulnerability start to feel forced, like he's working harder to perform genuine emotions. Because at this point, Ryan Reynolds feels less like a traditional actor and more like a permanently activated public persona. But, you know, he smashes that part when he's playing that type. That look in his eye is hilarious when playing that dry comedy, and that look in the eye is pretty much what he has all the time. It doesn't disappear. Is it good for a sociopath to be an actor? I'll let you decide. I mean, he is so entertaining and dry and funny, but he does strike me as a little bit scary if you went head to head with this guy. He has that look that he is prepared to go the extra mile to win no matter what. You know what? Just to be clear, I fucking love Ryan Reynolds and I think he's an amazing actor. I have no problem with him at all. And honestly, I was just trying to make a funny video. Again, this is all just, it's just jokes, Ryan. I absolutely love the work that Ryan does. He is amazing. And I gotta go. I'm gonna go.
I feel like we've all had quite enough.